Yeah.
You are a son of a bitch.
Un saluto a tutti.
What's up, everybody? We're here in the post-match, all right? I've got a couple fellas ready to join. I'm going to put up the number as a reminder. This is where you get me on WhatsApp, okay? So the number right there. Just send me a text if you want to call in with your thoughts and feelings on, obviously, Roma Juventus ending in a 1-all draw, okay? So we're going to get into it right now. I believe I have my man with me already. We got Tony Trim jumping in right now. Let's go with Tony. How you doing, my man?
Hey, man, I'm good. That was I don't even know where to begin with this game, man. It was just something else. Like I was, watching along, taking the notes, and man, at the end there it was brutal. Like I don't know, we can't get anything going.
I gotta say, I gotta question a few, kind of calls, moments, etc. and whatnot. We're waiting for Adam set to join us as well. Just waiting for his screen to kind of link up here. We just lost him again, but that's okay. Yeah, I'll wait for that to settle. Look, it's a lot of the same. A lot of the same, man. But like Chiesa was on today. And if you're in a 1-all game, a game that pretty much clinches it, we went for the draw. I think he called at that point that it's just, you know what, let's see it out as a 1-1 and move on and continue to just scrape away at barely getting the objective done. But this game overall, I felt for the most of it, the majority, that we didn't really ask enough of Roma. We didn't really challenge them enough. And Adam, my man, fresh out of coming back from his Turin trip there against Milan there.
What's up?
Man,
I like that me and Tony are matching our kits.
There you go.
Yeah.
Guys, it's the same old. And, we got some comments here. We're going to get into performances. I'm going to hit you with the stats and the ratings, and then we'll talk. But just some of the comments coming in from everybody. You've got Gatti is scary, okay? Only Conte can do something with this team. We really did turn into Draw FC. Roma, there for the taking. Another wasted opportunity. I couldn't agree more with that statement. This was a game, every time we got to their back end there, it was suspect. It was so suspect. But on the other hand, guys, Danilo looked, I heard the announcer say he had a good game, and I was like, man, I don't know. You must not be there watching in person or something, or maybe you are, and you're taking the Jamie Carragher notebook and getting 10 pints while you're watching it, because I'm sorry, man, Danilo did not have a good game for me. He really didn't. Rabiot was appalling, embarrassing. So again, that amount of money, that last rush, are you kidding me? You're driving the ball, all man rush. There's literally a pocket of 3 Roma players there. And that's where you put the fucking ball. That's where 11 million euros gets you in a crunch moment, crunch time of the game, where maybe you could draw something up. We got numbers moving forward. I don't have words for that kind of shit. Like Kostic. There was a moment. Kostic comes back to help defend. He's not even getting goal side. He comes to try and challenge the player on our attacking side and just pushes him into running at our defense. And I'm like, that is literally age 9 bullshit mistakes, like type of shit that we're doing. And we're watching our Juventus make these kind of errors. I have no words, boys. Like, shit show. Shit show. Seriously. Okay. The stats. because guys want to know the stats and everything, and we usually go through that immediately after the game. We will get into this. 61% possession for Roma, 39% for Juventus. However, in terms of attempts, 19 total for Roma, 16 total for Juventus. Juve with the most on target was 6 compared to Roma's 5. Big chances created, none for Juventus, although are we sure that none of our opportunities counted as big chances? Vlahovic's in the first should have been a big chance. Shot right in the center of the area, uncontested. I think that's a big chance to score. That's a big chance to score, I would say. Yeah. I thought we had another big chance, I would probably say. But whatever, none. 1 for Roma. They scored on it. Both teams hit the woodwork. Header from Christensen. Chiesa, my God. Left-footed rip from the 18. Get in the fucking net, man. Come on. Just give us something. That moment was symbolic of how these 16 games have played out for us. Literally. Like, even when you're doing good things, finding the right guy in the right moments, shit like that happens. But that's your stats on this one. We are going to get to the ratings. Szczesny with a 7.1. Adam, what's your rating on Tech? Was he 7 worthy? He made some big saves towards the end.
Yeah, I would even give him like 7.58 because he saved our ass so many times. Because
big stop
him,
there.
We would have lost 2-1. So.
Okay, Trim, 7.5 or 7?
I would say closer to 7.5. The only, like, one of the last attempts that Roma had where we thought it was Tech, but then when they showed the replay, it was Danilo clearing it off the line on that header attempt. That was the only one. But other than that, yeah, no, he saved our bacon today big time. Especially on that Abraham shot at the end. That was a big one. That was the game right there.
So I'm good with Tech. I think he's in consideration, man of the match. 7.5, I'm good with. Gatti at a 7.7 from SofaScore. That's where I disagree. I got Gatti on like a 6.5, man. Half point.
Gatti
Everybody starts at a 6.
Today.
Yeah, 6 point. Jesus Christ, that giveaway towards the end? That guy takes you through all the emotions in a span of 5 seconds, man. From like, that's why I love him to that's why I can't stand the prick. He does that in a matter of 5 seconds every time. But I'm giving him a 6.5. Vincenzo's giving him a 6.5. Tony Roast Beef, Trim's alter ego, is agreeing with us. Trim, what do you have Gatti on?
I would say maybe like 6.5 is probably pretty accurate because 6 might be a little bit harsh, but I mean like anywhere between 6 and 6.5.
Okay. Adam, Gatti.
I lowball it. I'll put him 6.4.
Okay. Bremer with a 7.8. If I got Tech at a 7.5, Bremer's right next to him for man of the match candidate and obviously scored that goal. I've got Bremer at 7.5 to like 7.7. So, Adam, your score on Bremer?
Yeah, Bremer had a great game. That goal saved us, and I would rate him high. What was his rating? I didn't hear it.
Bremer was at 7.8.
Yeah, fair. We can round it up to 8. He can get that. I'm gonna be nice to him. He can get an 8 from me.
Okay. And then, I love this. That's Mr. Roast Beef to you, Sev. You filthy animal. Trim, Bremer.
Oh, man. I was going to say it's funny because we tend to think of more of Tech as the man of the match based on the last few plays of the game that he had to come up big. But for the most part, I think we could all argue that Bremer was easily the player of the match. So I would say, 7.5, 7.8 is about right.
Okay. There we go. Danilo comes out of this game. Go ahead, Adam.
Because Gatti and Danilo, you said they were shaky, right? And Bremen was the only one that was keeping it all together. So that's why I'm going to give him an 8.
And that's why we get into this one. Danilo, 7.9 from SofaScore.
No.
There's no way he comes out of this game with a better rating than Bremer. He did make a big, big save on that volley shot that got by Tech. That was from Christensen, and Danilo heads it out. But he also was so abysmal on our first goal allowed when Baldanzi got steps on Cambiaso. Danilo stood there, offered no support, no challenge, and didn't close off the lane to goal. That was piss poor. A lot of mistakes from there. Danilo, I might have had below a 6, everybody. I might have had him at a 5.5. I'll give him an even 6 and leave it at that. Trim?
Yeah, I was going to say, like, to be generous and kind, I'd give him a 6, but you could easily see, like, I saw someone write in the chat a 5. Like, you know, you could even argue he was a 5. Because, on that first goal, I don't know what he was doing. He's just allowing Baldanzi all the time and space to cut down the wing and then chip it inside. And then he doesn't even make an attempt to run back to get to Lukaku, right? It's just
SofaScore's got Stevie Wonder working the ratings here, according to Marko Tomic there. So I like that one. Adam, I think we all agree there's no chance he's at a 7.9. So
no, I would agree with Neville. I would give him a 5.5. Because like he's the captain too, so he should be the one that's guiding this back line that like makes everyone get in line and everyone focus on the same target, but it just felt off.
Yeah.
Everything felt so off.
I'd agree. We got to get into the mids now across the middle there. Timothy Weah with a 6.4. Guys, real quick, was that a second yellow? Never for me. Never for me.
No,
they were lobbying hard. Paredes went down. No chance. Right call to get him out of the match, though, at that point.
Yeah.
But 6.4 for Weah.
I was sweating so much.
I think I'm okay with a 6.3 to 6.5 for Weah. I think in the first half he was very much involved. He was doing good link-ups with Vlahovic. Unfortunately, he couldn't get to the final product there with it, but he was doing some good things. And he was finding himself on the ball. It lacked a little more execution in the final end of it. So 6.4, I'm probably going to say for Weah is fair. Guys, agree, disagree? Adam?
I would agree with the 6.4. I like that way I tried to cut inside instead of just sticking to the line like you said, trying to link up play with the strikers. Because when he just hugs the line, he becomes a bit invincible. No, not invincible, but invisible.
Invisible, yeah.
Invincible,
I wish. I'd take that for any of our guys. Trim, what's your score on Weah?
Yeah, I was gonna say no. I'm okay with that SofaScore rating for him. The one thing that I was gonna mention though, the original first yellow in the 4th minute on Svilar, did he actually get him? Because it didn't look like he got him.
He got him with the trailing leg.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the trailing. It was very, very weak, man. Like very.
Even
weak.
That though, it's like, what the hell are you doing? Thinking of going after the keeper like that? Like it's just okay. You want to go chase the ball down, but don't try and stick your leg out. You know you're gonna get called, then the keeper's gonna try to sell it, right? It's like I don't know. For that, I was a little bit like, really that.
If you're gonna do that, you got to make damn sure you don't touch him at all because it's it's an easy. Exactly. And that was the first challenge he laid. First challenge of the game for Weah. And it was on the freaking keeper, and he gets a yellow.
I appreciate the aggressiveness, though. I like the grinta, the aggressiveness. He's trying it. So,
Weston McKennie, 7.1. So, I want to get your guys' on Weston. I want to see everybody in the live on Weston McKennie. I said during this game, he doesn't look like the Weston we've seen this season. And maybe it is the shoulder, but at the same time, he's still launching those throw-ins. So how much is it actually bothering him? I don't know, but I don't think he touches a 7 score in this game. I don't think he's also that far off of it. I'd probably have him at a 6.5. 6.5 for Weston. But what do you guys have him at, Trim?
Yeah, I think 6.5 is accurate. Like, I mean, he showed some moments, but like I was commenting in the live stream earlier in the watch along that I don't know. It's weird because you think it's the injury, but then you see him taking those long throw-ins and he's even talking with guys. So he is still kind of using that shoulder. But I wonder how much the contract situation playing out and now being kind of put out there in the media, if that's playing a factor. Because to your point, like earlier in the season, I mean, he's arguably been the player of the season for us in terms of just improvement and everything, what he's brought to the table. So I think it's the contract that's really playing a big part right now.
Yeah. I tend to agree. I don't actually think it's that injury as much. And again, I can attest to it. I literally the exact same thing. Been through it and everything. I don't think it's that injury. Although it does affect you, but I don't know. I wouldn't be like when I went through it. I wouldn't be bombing throw-ins like that. There's no chance in hell. Like that wasn't going to happen. It would have slipped and popped out, whatever, like 100%. So I question how much of that is. One way or another, he's not the same, and he hasn't been for a bit. But 6.5 probably fair. Adam, your score on Weston, and do you think it is injury, or is it more probably outside influences like contracts?
I'll give him a 6.5, and I
Yeah.
think it's not his injury, because if you think about it, he came back from that injury very, very fast, and he played like he did normally. Um, I just think that this contract talks and everything, and him like Juve is slowly nudging him out of the club. He's losing the passion for the badge a bit, I think, and maybe it's that, or maybe he broke up with Fratese's sister. I don't know, man.
That's who hacked his account, probably.
Yeah, yeah.
Listen, one way or another, it's it's a different West, and that's unfortunate. Because when you have very few like significant bright spots, when they stop doing that and bringing that, and you're not having anyone else kind of pick things up, it affects you. We're gonna get to this one, and I know this one's gonna probably go up. But Manuel Locatelli and his rating, all right? So before I give the sofa score rating, let's go into this one blind, and I want to see where everybody's at. And I'm going to start with Adam on this one. What did you rate Locatelli?
I like he played a bit better than he usually does. Like he was up there. He was trying to get the ball in. Unfortunately, his shots were a bit off and everything. But I'm gonna be nice and give him a 7.5. No, 7. I'm gonna
A
keep
7?
it. Yeah, I'm gonna give him a 7.
Going
I
up
like
a
Locatelli.
going up a point. Okay, so we got a 5, a 6.5, a 4.9, a 5. We got just a straight up horrendous, and then you have a 6 here. So trim, and then we got another 5.5. Trim, where are you at on Loca's rating?
Yeah, for me today, I don't know. It was really odd. Like he made a couple of great defensive plays, but just in the overall grand scheme of things, I don't think he played well at all. I would say closer to a 5.5.
Okay,
Um, yeah,
so
I don't know if he'd be our worst player in terms of rating, but he's probably one of the bottom ones for sure.
I don't
I'm
have him.
biased.
I don't have him going down a notch, but I don't have him going up a notch either. I have him at even 6. I think
Right.
he did some good and he did some bad. The goal, he was the one that sprayed it out to Chiesa immediately. He actually found Chiesa a lot in this game,
Yeah.
finding him quickly with the ball so that Chiesa could operate and Chiesa was on. So Locatelli was doing a good job in that sense, but that doesn't really show up, a lot in the details and the numbers. And again, a lot of his mistakes were highlighted mistakes, just because that's the nature of the beast. When you were one of the main men in the middle of the park, your mistakes, yeah, they're amplified. So for me, it's just flat even for him. He didn't go down any, but he didn't go up anything. So I'll leave it at an even 6. Sofa score for the record, everybody, 7.2 on Locatelli. Adrian Rabiot. Adrian Rabiot. I don't know. I'd have to say the same thing. Like, there was good things from Rabiot, but there was a lot of just nothing. And I'm left right back to square one with Rabiot, where I can't justify the price tag for the output. And I'm going to leave him at slightly better than Locatelli, 6.4 for Adrian Rabiot. SofaScore has him at a 7.1. What's everybody on Rabiot? Hit me. Let's start with Adam here.
I give him a 6. I hate I'm a serial Rabiot hater.
And on that note, the internet does not like you hating on Rabiot. They give Adam the boot. He's back in here. Okay.
Yeah. You see, his mom is trying to do stuff to
Veronique interfering with your internet right the second you said that.
Cutting
All
the
right.
cord.
So a serial Rabiot hater. Okay, so keep on with your performance analysis of him. Oh, no, Veronique doesn't want it. Trim, what are your thoughts on Rabiot? We're going to get Trim here.
So yeah, I mean, he's one of probably the most frustrating player to watch today because he did do a lot of good things tracking back and regaining possession for us. But like that last play was a perfect example. He worked so hard to get the ball back, turns it upfield, starts carrying it, and then just makes a fluff pass and turns it over. And it's like, really? Like, I don't know. Like for me, I would say 6 even. This is probably as high as I'd go for Rabiot.
Yeah, I give him slightly better than Locatelli because I think he broke up a lot. Locatelli also had some massive blocks defensively, massive block shots. And I still thought, even though he muffed that and bounced that shot, I still didn't think Villar was going to get to that. And Locatelli almost had the winner for us in this game. So again, that's why I don't move Locatelli completely down, but leave him even. Rabiot, though, for me, I'll give him half a point better than Locatelli because I do think overall he broke up much. He had a lot of good sequences, but, never fully delivers. Tony Roast Beef's got it the best there. Good moments and sequences, but he just never fully delivers. I think that's fair, and that's what I'm going to say. Now, we get to Cambiasso, who I said in the pregame was going to have a big match. And there he is on the back of Adam's kit there. Cambiasso. I got to say, Sofa scores at 7.2. Trim? Cambiasso, what do you got him?
I'd say it's like a 6.8. Still, it's a little generous. He had his moments, but even him, like, missing a lot of passes. There's just the communication between our guys. Like, you could just see it all over the place. Like, nobody knows where they want the ball. The forwards are always raising their arms to the mids when we're trying to get balls in there. It's like there's just no communication. It's almost like they don't practice during the week. It's actually kind of frustrating to watch, right?
We got a couple guys going down on Cambiasso, 5.8, moving his score down 5.
Wow.
Yeah. What do you have for Cambiasso there, Adam? And Veronique will probably leave you alone now.
I put him in 6.8, like Lucas did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Only because he has his on his back, but also because he didn't do much, but he didn't do much wrong either, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So
he's definitely. If I had Locatelli remaining at a 6 and I had Rabiot at a 6.5, Cambiasso is going to be slightly ahead of that, even with his struggles in this game. So I've got him at about a 6.7, somewhere in that range for Cambiasso. Dusan Vlahovic with a 7 from SofaScore. I actually think he's really got to put that first one on target at the least. I think if he hits that target, it's in. But outside of that, I thought his hold-up play was good, and he was being a good target man. I think he was working hard. I think service was few and far between. He kind of sacrificed himself a lot in the first half. He was being the target guy for Weah on a lot of those 1-2s and everything, and Chiesa was latching on to some of those end plays. 7 might be a little too much, but it's not far off. 6.8, 6.7 probably for Vlahovic. You guys agree with that?
Yeah, for sure.
It's a fair score. Yeah. Federico
I think he got left on an island.
And that's typical of our strikers in this setup. It was not left on a friggin' island. Chiesa 7.4 from SofaScore. And yeah, best player. He's in the mix for best player of this game. It's got to be him, Bremer, and Tech. Would you guys agree for man of the match?
Yep.
Well,
Yeah,
let's just get to
absolutely.
it. 7.7s, 8s for Chiesa. 7.8. Chiesa, 8 easy. Is he the man of the match? Who's your man of the match?
Yeah,
Live chat, hit me right now and let's go down the line. Adam, who's your man of the match?
Chiesa, give him a 10. He get a 10 from me. Swarit would be happy and proud of me saying that.
Swarit's going to hit up that one for
Yeah,
sure. There
yeah.
you go. So Chiesa, man of the match for Adam. Trim, who's your man of the match?
See, I want to give it to Chiesa, but our Paisano Max decides to take him out of the game a little early. I would have liked to keep him in a little bit longer. So because of that, I'm going to give the slight edge to Tech, especially because he had to make a few big saves towards the end of the match there. But I mean, you could easily, in terms of the score ratings, you can easily say between Chiesa, Bremer, and Tech, they're easily between like a 7.4 to 7.5, or sorry, 7.4 to like 7.8, in and around that range between the three of them. So, but I'd go with Tech for man of the match.
Tech for man of the match. So we got a Chiesa, we got a Tech, and oh man, so Bremer lost his man a little bit, a few times.
Yeah.
Chiesa had made a few bad decisions, but overall his body of work was strong. He was the only one constantly threatening Roma. And Szczesny really, really saved us in this one with another just massive save, another massive 2 stops. But Bremer gets the goal, the only goal. Chiesa sets it up. It's a tough one. I will, overall, Chiesa ended up leaving the game early. Those guys closed it out. Bremer was absolutely massive. I'm going to give it to Bremer. I'm going to say Bremer gets my man of the match. It's going to be interesting to see who gets it with the panel tomorrow on the post-match podcast and if they think otherwise. But you guys, this game, overall, same old, you know, like we talk about this team. We talk about what it was going to be like going down to the wire and just sealing the deal. It's infuriating. When we go back to the first comments on this live show from everybody and just saying Roma was there for the pickings, you know, they were there for the takings. They have a bad record against sides that are in the top 8 of Serie A. They have been on a bad run because they're in a tricky part of their schedule. And what do I say? Get out of the gate early. Attack this team. Don't wait for an adverse situation to actually wake up. What did we do? We go 1-0 down in this fucking game. And a poor goal allowed. You know, for anybody that's questioning, you know, what exactly is the issue at Juventus right now, it is not one sole issue.
Right.
Because it is creeping up all over the place. Danilo has lost what made him reliable and made him good for the time that we needed him and the period we needed him. He's becoming a problem. And that's one of the main issues at Juventus right now is that the guys, like I said, we were feeding off scraps. We really were. Like, these guys have no consistency to their name whatsoever. Even the top guys for Juve. They just can't remain consistent for the life of them. On top of that, the substitutions were disconnected from the game, in my opinion, yet again from Max. Agree? Disagree on that one?
100% agree.
I hate the waiting. I hate it so much. And we're gonna wait to the 83rd minute to sub someone out. What will Akares do for 6 minutes plus added time? Nothing.
Yeah.
He won't have the time to come into the game.
Yeah. You just can't. I don't understand. And again, I do get it because he ended up shifting into we're going to protect this 1 point. Like, for Max, it's like 1 point closer to Champions League qualification, whatever. Like, drag it out, whatever. You've got Salernitana up next. If we don't get 3 fucking points against Salernitana, even if we play Pinsolio starting this game at striker, I'm gonna lose my shit. Okay? Salernitana, the absolute dead last squad, cellar dweller side. If you don't get that 3 points I'm telling you guys, it's just beyond embarrassing. This stretch, this run that we have is already been embarrassing. But do you guys think that the situation around the team, remember what I said on that live show of what I was hearing out of Turin, and that there are players that want certain assurances. They're looking for some type of, they haven't even qualified yet. It's bullshit. But now look at the rumors that you're hearing. Adrian Rabiot's waiting out till the very end, potentially outside of the Euros. And Juve's willing to just wait there with him. He wants certain assurances. McKennie wants a pay hike. Like, and now we're looking at these guys. Their performances are not even to the caliber of starting position lockdown guys. But they are. They're a lock. Game in, game out. And I kind of feel for Max in a sense because we don't have the depth to get away from those guys. We really don't. You know what I mean? So it's a shitty position. You're trying to close out objectives, but you've got, I'm guessing, a good amount of guys checked out.
Yeah, 100%. I was going to say, there's one thing I wanted to kind of bring up because we brought it up actually in the group chat, the AJC member chat, which, by the way, everybody definitely subscribe to the channel, become a member. Can't stress that enough. We have our own private group chat. It's awesome. We kind of fly off the handle a little bit. But anyway, the reason I'm bringing this up is because the question was posed earlier this week. We have 4 games left, so we can't include this one now because we have the result. But I posed the question. I said, what realistically do we see happening in the next 4 games? So I actually, on today's live show, I predicted we would get a win. But my heart and my gut was telling me, and if you go back into the group chat, I said, we're going to draw Roma. We'll win next week to get into the Champions League. And then we'll finish off with Bologna draw and a Monza draw. Because to me, it's like that's just so typical of not only Max, but the team. But again, like the players are playing the way that Max wants him to play or wants them to play, right? So like you could just see it. Like the message is just getting stale. I mean, we talk about this quite a bit, Al, you and I, with when it comes to coaching and the message getting stale, like sometimes you just need a new voice, a new change. And again, this is not taking away from the players at all because we both can agree that we do need a new mix of players as well. So for example, tying into Rabiot wanting a reassurance, McKennie, these guys haven't earned it. You could argue McKennie's the only one. Okay, you want to give him a little bit of a pay raise, that's fine. But a guy like Rabiot wanting assurances for making the Champions League or waiting to see what's going to happen with Max, like to me, it just sums up the last 3.5 going on now 4 years with Max at the helm and how we've just got it wrong. And I can't stress enough how much me personally, I want to see just an overall change, and I'm willing to be patient and whoever it is that comes in next. So again, I wanted to pose the question to you guys. So now we have 3 games left, a possibility or a possible 9 points on deck. Like how many points are we getting here? I'm saying 4 or 5, I guess 5 actually, I should say, because that's what I'm going with. I think we get it done next week and 2 draws to end it out.
I'm going to get this out of the way real quick because Andrew's asking. You're a member, okay? Rick Owsey, again from JCD Melbourne, gifted another 5 memberships. Reach out to us on any of our social media platforms, and we'll get you plugged into the private group chat, okay? So, and yeah, again, if you were looking to be a member, you just have to do it on a desktop. I don't know why the hell YouTube doesn't allow you to do it off mobile. That's their problem. In terms of the game, okay, and what the game's remaining and what Trim's saying, guys, honestly, I think we get it done. You got to get it 3 points against Salernitana. That'll be enough. 1 point from today. 4 points. 4 points will do it. 5's the magic number. 4 will become it. I can't see us dropping the ball that hard. But after that, like, I don't have faith in this team in a one-off game for the Coppa Italia anymore.
Whoa. Yeah.
And am I alone? Am I alone on this? Like, I don't have faith that these guys are going to put forth a cup-winning performance against a red-hot Atalanta.
Well, so the funny thing is I actually said, because I know I was going back and forth with John about this. John's adamant we're losing this Copa. For me, I don't know what it is, because this is the tale of Juventus with Max. It's always the opposite of what you think is going to happen will happen. So somehow I actually think we'll pull a rabbit out of our you know what, and we'll actually win the Copa. Now, it's not going to be pretty. I actually think it might even go to PKs. That's how bad it will be. It'll be like we'll be sweating it out till the end. It's going to come down to who knows who in the PKs, and we'll get it done. But again, to your point, like it just goes to show we don't have any kind of feeling with this team and in what direction they're going to go, how they're going to show up on a week to week basis. Like it's
Yeah.
just wild.
Like, Adam, where are you at for confidence level in a one-off going into this Coppa Italia?
I don't want to get my hopes up, man. Like every game, I'm so hopeful. I'm like, yes, we'll take them on. We'll make sure we get this win, everything. And then they score, and then like everything just gets to the gut, and you feel like shit. And then you wait it out, and somehow we just score. We just bag like a bonk of a player, and then just goes in like Locatelli's goal for Milan, for example.
Yeah.
Somehow
Yeah.
it goes in, and you get so happy. But then again, you're stressed out for the last 20 to 10 minutes because you don't know how this team will take this energy and everything. Even though everything should be on our like the momentum is on our side, I'm still scared.
Yeah,
And
I
Atalanta, like you said, is red hot. So I'm afraid of them because they always manage to score goals, and I don't know. That's our problem. We don't make goals. We don't score goals. So I don't know if we can outscore Atalanta. That's my problem.
7 goals in the last 9 games. Like
Like
that's shitty, and that's putting it lightly. You know and I love this comment because I want to believe it, okay, and I really really want to do from Sharia here that we win when something's on the line. I mean, it
do we?
just we have not over quite a few years here, other than you go back to the Pirlo season when you got those cups, but outside of that, like, no, because there was something on the line earlier on in the season and we fell flat on our faces. And then it's like you couldn't come anywhere close to regaining that. And the Coppa Italia, even that second leg to Lazio was rough. That was a rough second leg. Like it's very, very sketchy. You guys, like, it's really, really sketchy. My concern is that the lads are checked out, and that's not good when you got a Coppa Italia final to get up for. It's this game. Like, these games, all these games down the line, when we want to talk, has something not been on the line? Champions League qualification has been on the line. One of the main objectives of the year. And that's why I don't have that feeling. And though, in my heart, yeah, I want to believe, no, it's Juve. We are Juve. When something comes down to it, it's all about winning at all costs. We will put forth that performance. But I've been saying that for like so many games now that it's at the point now where they need to make me believe that because I'm not believing it anymore.
Yeah.
That's
And
Go
my
ahead.
fear my fear is that in saying that I have this belief, or somehow maybe it's more of a fantasy that we'll actually win, in the back of my head, subconsciously, I'm thinking, okay, we win this thing. Does that mean Max is staying? And I'm like, oh God, okay, then let's just lose it just for, like, it's like, I hate that we have to be thinking this way. It's actually kind of sad that we have to have this fear. It's like we shouldn't even have to second guess these things. Like, I think it's pretty evident that change is needed, but you know what I mean? Like, you hear the rumblings of, oh, he gets his objectives of hitting
No.
top four and winning the Copa. It's like, oh, he's gonna stay. It's like, dude, like 3.5 years, 4 years now at the end of this season, and you're telling me you still can't see what's in front of you and how, like you just said, it's 7 goals in 9 games. What's our run? Like 13, 14 points in however many games the last little bit. Like, it's not good enough all
No.
around
No,
across
it's
the board, right?
it's again, you can't keep climbing out of the well. Like,
Yeah,
you just can't keep doing that. Eventually, you're going to fall in that motherfucker and it's too deep to get out of. And
that's
that's
it.
that's essentially it. Like, it's just it's over. Timmy's
Yeah.
fallen down that well too many times. Leave him down there. Okay? It's over. It's over. Time to move on. We do have some Storm the Barns coming in, you guys. Get the Storm the Barns in. Again, reminder, the WhatsApp number's right there in the corner. You don't have to jump on screen. If you want to just send a call in, we can get that happening, all right? So, again, fire away. We got some messages coming in, just some texts and everything, but let me know if you actually want to call in. I will call you, so just send a message. We're going to get to Storm the Barn. This comes in from Sev. Any shot Allegri puts up a 3-4-3 with Dusan, Chiesa, and Yildiz for that Coppa Italia final. Can anybody see that here on the panel? Adam immediately
No,
shaking his head no.
no, no, because that's what we want, right? That's what we want. So we won't get it. It's like you're waiting for Christmas and it never comes. You know, with Allegri. So no, it won't happen. Like he will maybe sub Chiesa in or Yildiz in, and then it will happen. But he will never ever play 90 minutes of 3-4-3. Never.
Trim.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree wholeheartedly with what Adam said. Like, we all want to see it, and he won't do it because he doesn't, for whatever reason, it's like he doesn't have faith in it. I wish I knew exactly what it was. Is it because he feels more confident with the two wing backs on the flank, so he prefers like a 3-5-2 setup? Like, it just, I don't know. Trying to figure this guy out and his tactics and his formation, like why he sticks with it, it's next to impossible. So no, I as much as I'd love to see it, I don't think we will.
Yeah. I I don't even know anymore with this guy. I
Just at a
really don't.
loss
Like,
for
it's
words.
like he gave us a 4-3-3 to probably be like, look, I gave you a 4-3-3 and it was with fucking Cambiaso as the winger rather than just go with what, like I just don't know anymore. I don't know anymore. It's crazy. And then again, a game like today, Chiesa's red hot. He's the only one creating constant issues for them, and you take him out, and we're happy with 1 point and scraping away. Could you imagine, by some freaking ridiculous way, we don't get in? Would be one of the most
Oh,
embarrassing things of any coach of any tenure. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy to me.
yeah.
And while I say this, the other thing is that if we would have made the change way back when this run really was ugly and we're like, guys, you got to stop the bleeding, would it necessarily have changed? I don't really think so with these guys. And that's another concern is the culture, what we've created at Juventus over these years with guys getting paid more than their output and what they're worth, and the wage structure, the contracts, the options, the automatic renewals. It's fucking been Club Med. So, like, I don't necessarily know if we brought in an interim, even say Montero came up, that we would have necessarily changed everything drastically. I really don't. Like,
Yeah, like for me, Berto, like I think the best way to describe it would have been in terms of positioning in the rankings, we probably wouldn't have moved up. We probably wouldn't have moved down. But what I think would have changed is we may have seen a different stylistic of play, like style of play that suits what the fans want to see, as opposed to the boring cortomuso, sit back, no like low block, no pressing football that we play right now with Max. So it's again, hindsight's 2020. So
yeah.
like it's funny because I just wanted to bring this up. Like myself and Reno, we were the ones early in, I'd say, beginning of March. We were really starting to panic and think like, if this keeps up, we're not going to qualify for Champions League. As time's gone by now, I'll be honest, my nerves have eased a bit, which there has been nothing to change that, which is funny. This is what I don't get. Like we're so up and down, but like we were calling it from a while ago saying like if this keeps up and we keep dropping points, we're gonna bottle this big time. But coupled with the fact that we've caught some breaks. The other teams around us are either drawing, so they're not actually moving up. Like we've caught a few breaks, right? But like I said, I think just in general, like these like there's 3 games left. There's no way he's gonna blow it now, but he's getting by at this by the skin of his teeth. And
Yeah.
he'll go in front of the media and he'll say, I reached my objectives. It's up to the club to decide what they want to do with me and the players and blah blah. It's all he has to be politically correct the way he speaks. And I don't really like that. I just wish that he would take more accountability and say, you know what, I really messed up. I'm trying the best I can with this club and with the players at my disposal, all that kind of stuff. But like he doesn't take accountability. He never will. It's fine, whatever. But that's kind of why I also want to see a change. But yeah, like there, I don't know. I don't think he'll bottle it now. But again, like we were really panicking for a while there. And I mean, look at the run we just went on, right? And just like I said, we've caught some breaks with some of these other teams. And I know someone wrote earlier in the chat that Roma play Atalanta. I don't know if it's next week or the week after. So that's like a big head-to-head tilt,
Yeah.
right? So we get these 3 points next week, then we're in. But again, like to your point, like who's to say we're gonna walk in there and just walk all over
Like
Salernitana, right?
how sad is that? How
Yeah,
sad is saying
exactly.
that
I
we
know.
can't guarantee like a 3 points against Salernitana, for God's sakes. I got a
Yeah.
game of my own immediately after this one. My team could beat Salernitana. I'm like 90% confident we could beat Salernitana, okay? And it's crazy to me that the drop off's so big in terms of, what you were mentioning with the objectives and Max hitting them and everything. You can tell the way he's talking with media that it's it's changed. He
Yeah.
knows the writings on the wall. If you ask me, that's coming through, I think, in the interviews. If I'm looking at this, there's no way even those hit. And I personally think that, you know, it takes a hell of a lot for Juve to do a change mid-season in general, always has been. It's taken a run that was similar to what we got this season, actually, to get that change. But I think with Max, the difference is a respect thing. I really do. I think that it's the fact that, you know what, that board got absolutely disassembled in the middle of the season last season, and he was the only guy around, and he bared the entire weight of that year on his shoulders. And I think it's just you know what, man, this is yours to finish up. We've got more cleanup to do, but eventually we're moving, because we still haven't fully integrated Giuntoli in.
Right.
And I see Max leaving as kind of that last thing of the, okay, now we're going, and he's integrated, and it's going to be Giuntoli's team from coach to players. And let's see what he does. It's essentially a new era that's beginning. I cannot see Giuntoli, like there's no way you could watch this and be like, yeah, no, all things need to remain. Or even for me, I'm thinking about it with the players. Like I'm thinking that I would literally consider offers for almost our entire club, you guys.
Yeah. No, for sure.
And I think that management probably sees it the same way. I really do. Like anything can happen as far as I'm concerned. This manager thing too is going to be very, very interesting because, you know, Di Marzio, what he's saying, and Romano and all this. But who knows, man? Who knows what Giuntoli really is thinking? I'm actually looking forward to this Mercado. Just because of the sheer fact I have no idea what this guy's going to do, and I like it. I'm excited for it. I think this entire fan base needs a breath of fresh air, a new face, and just honestly, to get away with some of the guys that are symbols of a Juve that we have a tough time associating with as fans. You know?
For sure.
Because am I being over the top in saying that I'm having a tough time associating with this Juventus? Is that just me?
No,
No,
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I
Like if
don't
I'm
I don't like
talking
the
about,
attitude of some players. Like for Rabiot, example, like he's bigger than the club. Like if you take ADP for example, he stayed with us for eternity almost, and he did so because he loved the club. He played for the club. The club didn't play for him.
yeah, it's like when you look at this team, and a lot of it does have to do with how we play, but it's a very soulless. It's a very soulless experience watching Juventus play. That's shitty to say, but it
Yeah.
is, you know? And again, that's why I need a reset. I think this fan base needs a full reset as much as we can in the off season. But it's going to be tricky to keep the expectations up to where we want to be, which is competitive. And with extra competitions next season, that's a difficult task for anyone coming into this situation at Juventus. So Giuntoli is going to have his hands full. But yeah, we need something different. And when you look at guys that, hey, who are you going to put on the back of your kit? It's getting slim pickings with what we're seeing. And that's what I mean with associating with his team. I want to associate with Gatti because I do think he's got a lot of the character qualities that we associate it with Juventus players. But at the same time, this guy makes shocking freaking decisions of plays left, right, and center. And I did have a Gatti kit this season. I think next year I'm going back to no names, no numbers. I think I'm going back to just the kits until these guys win me over. Because enough's enough, man. Now, there was a storm the barn in here. Do you start Fagioli as soon as he's available? Are you guys starting Fagioli the second he's available?
No,
No?
I won't.
How
No.
come?
I I love Fajoli and I want to see him play, but I just think it's weird to just put him in. He hasn't played a single minute, and just to put him in on a was it the cup final people were talking about, or just a game?
I don't know. Is he going to be? I don't think he's going to be available for the cup final.
No, right?
I think
think-
he's only
you know what?
available for the last two. I think he's only available for Bologna and Monza.
Bologna, Monza. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, as I said, I want him to start, but then again, Allegri is Allegri, so he won't start him. He will take him on from the bench, surely. That game he can play, but I don't think he will start.
Yeah. Trim, would you start him immediately?
So I've been kind of going back and forth in my head about this because, like, part of me thinks at that point we've already clinched and qualified, so the games don't really mean anything at that point.
I hope so.
However, I don't know exactly. Hope so. I'm really banking on that win next week, as you can tell. But at the same time, you know, for what he got suspended for, again, you know, people think whatever they want about it, but I think it's like not sending him a message, but just showing him, hey, you got to kind of earn your stripes again. So just having him on the bench, again, that doesn't mean not playing him. Just have him come off the bench. I wouldn't start him.
Yeah.
I think I'd lean more towards that to just say, hey, kid, like, you know, you made some mistakes. We stuck by you, but you don't just get to walk right into the starting role.
Yeah.
But again, like, I can see it going both ways. But to Adam's point, I can't see Max starting him because he does the opposite of what we would normally think you'd want him to do, right? So I think he comes off the bench for those last two games, regardless of if they're important or not.
How I'm kind
Can
of
I just
feeling with
say-
the players right now is like, and Fagioli falls into it as well, is like, he's not in question for me for next year. So, like, if there's nothing to play for, I'm not really putting him in there or doing anything or whatnot. Like, I'm more curious about why the hell Thiago Giallo can't get a fucking minute. And, like get guys
I
like
wanted
that
to say
we
it.
don't know anything about and put them in, and let's see. Like, and let's get Caviglia in some games. Like, let's get these guys in. These guys that we're looking at, like, sending away, that we should have seen a little bit more this season. Like Caviglia, we should have seen a bit more this season, in my personal opinion. There's been quite a few moments that you could call him into some games and see what we got there. And we just aren't taking that. And that kind of happened in this game today because the midfield needed a change. We were run ragged out there. And you could see all three were, and Max would not dare change any one of those guys because he didn't think that it would be safe. He thinks he would have conceded, and that's the way Max always sees it. It's just a fact. And he did it, and he stuck with these guys despite the fact that you could see it. They were all three dead. You needed a guy in. Alcaraz in the 83rd minute. My God, man. Like,
Stupid.
Just fucking get a midfield sub, and you don't need all three of those guys out there for full 90s. You do need something to help push the game. And at some point, pressure, ball retention, going at them also eases things up on your defense. It's just, I'm not getting the things that we used to see consistently out of Max, which is the tweaks that help turn the tide.
Yeah.
That hasn't been there. It just hasn't been there. And if we're going to say that that's all on the players, how can you say that when you haven't seen them?
Well, so funny, I was going to mention like another guy that I'd give a shot to in those last couple games or when we qualify is bring Nonje back up. The kid hasn't played since that red card, and you sent him back to next gen. He's been playing well for next gen. So what? You're not going to give him a couple games or some minutes in these last two games when they're literally meaningless, or well, we hope they're meaningless. Like, you know what I mean? It's like even something like that. Like that's a perfect example. We didn't really get to see the best of Nonje and what he can bring, because when Max would put him in, it was to your point. He's trying to put him in at when he feels it's safe for the team, but he's really actually hurting the player because he's not showing the confidence in the kid to play him when it could benefit him, right? So, like, even a guy like him, like, I don't know, I'd like to see him playing as well.
I think you need to give him time. You can't just put him in the 89th minute. He will be stressed out. He wants to prove something to everyone, to the fans, to the club, to the coach, everyone. He can't do that in 1 minute. He just gets stressed out, and the pressure will get to him, and he will crumble.
Yep.
So, as far as it stands now, 35 games played, 66 points for Juventus. Bologna, 64 points. Roma on 60 points. And Atalanta on 57 with 2 games in hand. So, you really just have to get that 3 points next weekend. It can't be another draw. It just can't, Yeah. And again, are we going to be able to? Well, Juve might have packed things up, everybody. So what I said this a while ago, scrape job is the term that I used. Get ready for the scrape job. Buckle up. Those seatbelts should never be taken off because it's going to be bumpy. All right? It's going to be bumpy as hell. If we draw next... Okay. I don't even want to think about it. We're going to stop it right there, okay? But I got to say a big thank you to all of you, the live shows today. Top drawer from the preview to the watch along to this call-in. Big thank you to Adam and Trim for jumping on. You guys, we're going to do this, try and do this after every watch along and have you guys jump on like this, like Trim, like Adam, and just get more involved, okay? I want to see all of you in and get more involved because this channel is not my thing. It's for all of us, okay? Little bit more work to do. Fuck, we just can't have anything nice. We can't just make things easy, eh? Gotta grind it out. For Trim and I, Leafs fans, Jesus Christ, man. The misery just never, it just, when it rains, it pours, man. When it rains, it pours. But I'm with you, okay? Misery loves company. I'm with you. You guys, we're gonna be live tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. The panel is going to be in. We're going to tackle not so much this game, but just everything around Juventus. And I do expect quite a bit of news to hit us in the aftermath. We're going to look at the comments being made by Max, the players, everything. I have a feeling this team has checked out. But we'll talk about it a lot more tomorrow. You guys, big thank you. As always, I got my own game now to go and worry about. Hopefully I can bring some 3 points in with my squad, okay? Let's see what happens. As always, no matter what, at least we didn't lose on Cinque Maggio. Because then I'd really have to probably go to Turin and lay the smackdown on some jabronis, okay? So thankfully, we didn't lose on the Cinque Maggio. God damn it. You sure made it
Great
close,
job.
though. God damn. You know? But on that note, fino alla fine, Forza Juventus. Take care, everybody. Enjoy what's left of your weekends. We'll reconvene in the AM. Take care, everybody.